Alright, what's up everybody? Share this if you can. Share it to your page so we can get some more people involved. We get our views up, educate the people. If you can, bring them to the camera. Nah. Alright, so I still got my words of affirmation up here, but I'll take them down. Been a long day, but we gonna get this thing started. Alright, so in this lesson, it's gonna be a history lesson for the BLK Agenda. So I know a lot of people were excited about having a generational wealth session last week. So it's 5 different sections that we're hitting on. We got community, finances, we got health, and then we go into history and community. All right, so I'll be rotating, which one I'll go into each week. It's just this week would be history. So more than likely next week I'll go into health, and it's different components to the health that we'll talk about. But for this week it's history, and we're doing history on how America became great. Alright, so how America became great. I dropped a little hint earlier with the picture that I put, so anybody could guess what we might be talking about. Anybody take a guess? Hey, y'all, I see you. Alright, so I don't know if anybody got it yet, but what we'll be talking about is the Haitian Revolution. Alright. Now I know y'all probably like how America became great from the Haitian Revolution, alright? But I'll be explaining some things that happened over the time in the Haitian Revolution. So I'm gonna start with Haiti first. Haiti, if you spell like Ayiti, A-Y-I-T-I, it literally translates to the land of high mountains. Alright. Now, I know this may seem like minimum right now, but this is very important as we translate into more about the Haitian Revolution. All right. So, things we need to know. All right, the Haitian Revolution started in 1791. 1791 and went on to 1804. Now, it says 1791 to 1804. But it really probably started in like 1789, all right, because there's a couple people in Haitian history that aren't recognized as much as others, because everybody probably pretty much know Toussaint, and people are just starting to wake up a little bit about Jacques Dessalines. But we had Vincent Oggi. He was a person that came before those people as well. Now the thing with Vincent Oggi in the Haitian Revolution is that he died off really quick because him and his crew that he had, I think it's about 100 men. They were, running through Haiti, killing people. Because a lot of people think that nobody revolted back in these days. There were many revolts back in these days that you got to understand. Now, the reason we don't know about them is because it wouldn't have been in the colonizers' best interest to be telling the stories of these black people going against them and defeating some of their people. Why would they want to tell them that? If y'all can answer it, why would they want to tell, others about the defeats that they had against Africans or the people or the enslaved that they had? These people that kidnapped. So that's one of the biggest problems with that. But from 1791 to 1804. Now, another thing we need to know is one of the most successful revolutions. Well, they say slave revolutions. I try to watch what I say, but the people that were enslaved. All right, rebellions. And it did spark other rebellions throughout the world. That was one of the things that led to Haiti being the way it is today, but we'll get to that later. Now, how they were able to defeat them. Things that we need to know. Now, in Haiti during this time period, there were more people that were enslaved than there were people that were in charge. So that was the biggest issue, the ratio. Between the numbers, they're trying to fluctuate. You go from a 12 to 1 ratio, like 12 slaves to 1, let's say, colonizer, and then you got, or 8 to 1. Now, one thing that's been pretty consistent is that there was 500,000 that were enslaved, and the number of colonizers fluctuated between, they say, 40,000 and 60,000. I know that's a huge discrepancy, but ever since I've been researching this and teaching this to my kids, that's the numbers I keep getting as far as the colonizers. Now, let's go to the issues, all right, that started, how this all started with the Haitian Revolution. Now, one of the biggest issues that it's had, and we still have this issue today, is the racial groups, all right? So, at the very top, the first group, y'all could probably take a wild guess who it was, all right? Those are white colonizers, all right? I'm probably spelling colonizers wrong, but it's all right. And then, number two, this would be your mixed race people, all right? Some people, they'll name these people as mulattoes. Some of you might have heard that. Or in French, it's like je de colors. And then I'm probably not pronouncing this right, but y'all know what I mean. And then you had the African slaves, Africans that were enslaved. All right, let me know if y'all following, because I want to keep going. And y'all not understanding. Y'all good? All right, we all good? All right. So we had the Africans that was enslaved. So these are our three racial groups that we're talking about. So you got white colonized mixed race people, so there's like mulatto, and then you got the Africans that were enslaved. Now, this is where the problem arises, right here with these groups. Right here. These two groups. Now, you have white colonized and mixed race people. Now, these mixed race people, they, in some cases, not all cases, they had just as much money as the white colonizers, but they had to play a second-class role to the white colonizers. That was one of the biggest problems that, had tension that was already set in place, because they had to be the ones to say, yes, sir, no, sir. No, you know what I'm saying? Things of that nature that makes them show the utmost respect to someone that was white. They probably didn't have much of a status than them or money as them. So that was really unsettling, but it was something that was not unspoken, but it was just kind of put on the back burner. But things kind of changed around, all right? And this was in 1789, all right? 1789. All right, so 1789, we got the French Revolution is happening over in France. Now, question for y'all. Somebody need to answer a question, because I ain't seen nobody answer a question yet. All right? So why would the French Revolution be significant to the Haitian Revolution? Why would these two even be mentioned together? Somebody give me an answer. Why would these two be mentioned together? Haitian Revolution and the French Revolution. All right, I'm back. I saw that it was frozen. All right, so why would the Haitian Revolution be equal to the French Revolution? Why would they be mixed together? Anybody got an answer? I see y'all. All right, they both colonized by the same colonizers. All right, good. All right, so we do got an answer. All right, so that was in 1789. We had the French Revolution. Now, that was going on in France. Yes, Haiti was basically owned by France. It's part of the reason why a lot of Haitians, they can speak French as well. All right, but when the French Revolution was going on, this thing came out called the Declaration of the Rights of Man. All right? So the Declaration of the Rights of Man is basically, the Declaration of the Rights of Man was basically equivalent to our Declaration of Independence. They kind of played off of that exactly if you go look up the Declaration of the Rights of Man. Now, we could go back to talking about the three groups that we had. We had the agenda colors, we had the white colonizers, and we had the Africans and slaves. And we talked about the tensions that happened there. Now, when the Declaration of the Rights of Man came out, this basically stated that all men were equal pretty much and they were free. Now, they used for transport, the Atlantic Ocean and boats. That was basically like our 95, our highway, wherever you are watching this. That was like your highway. So once word got back, and word traveled pretty fast back then, it got back to Haiti. The agenda colors, now remember, these are the people who got money as well, and they're pretty high status, but they're playing second class to white colonizers during this time period. Once word got back to them, they fought even harder for their rights, trying to speak it up, and they demanded government positions and different positions of status because they had, the knowledge and they had the wealth to do so, but they were still second class citizens. But once that started, tension started to, things started to boil over. This is when you see fights in the streets and you see people getting killed left and right. But, it wasn't an uprising yet at this point. All right, but as time went on, you had the Africans that were enslaved. They got hyped. Now, once the Africans that were enslaved got hyped, we got to remember, the Africans that were enslaved, it was 500,000 of them to only 40,000 to 60,000 of the white colonizers. All right. Now, I know you can imagine how that went. All right, but we're gonna go into it anyways. Now we're gonna recognize another leader of the Haitian Revolution, which is not he's not really recognized either because he died off pretty fast as well. All right, so one of the leaders. All right, we got Boukman. Boukman, that's it. All right, so he was enslaved. He was enslaved on an island in Haiti as well. He was originally from Jamaica. All right, here's a Dutchie. All right, so he's originally from Jamaica, but he was such a revolutionary, and they seen it in his spirit, so they were more proactive in getting him off the island, and they shipped him over to Haiti. So once he got to Haiti and he got more settled, you already know what he did. He was one of the first leaders, well, one of the leaders, I won't say the first, one of the leaders of the Haitian Revolution. All right. Now, with his part in it, it was on, I believe that was 1791. All right. 1791. They had, so we're going to call this like a campfire. This was like their meetup. This is where Boukman Dirty and his whole group, they had got together a bunch of the enslaved Africans from different plantations. They met in the woods and they had a voodoo session where they all basically committed, their lives to this revolution. All right, this is a lot of times it's skipped over, and a lot of people look at voodoo as a very bad thing, but you got to remember, voodoo, it takes on many different forms. And another thing to go over into that is that when people were coming off the coast of Africa, this is kind of a little off topic, coming off the coast of Africa, you had, the colonizers and the people that were kidnapping them. They knew that Africa was a continent and not a country. All right, they knew that very, very well. So when they were capturing these different people from different parts of Africa, they separated them from their ethnic groups because they knew that would create a lot of confusion. But they didn't know that the one thing that they had in common was the voodoo religion and their spirituality that they used. This is how they basically communicated, during the Haitian Revolution. All right, I'm gonna check in on y'all. All right, so, all right, facts. All right, all right, yeah. So this is how they communicated during the Haitian Revolution. All right, so they went into burning down homes, plantations. They burnt down basically the system that kept them enslaved. This was their whole idea. So some it's sort of like the stuff that you see today in America. All right, they're burning down some of the same stuff to keep them enslaved. All right. So a lot of their cash crop as well. I forgot to mention that. Anybody know what the cash crop was? What was the cash crop in Haiti? Well, you just give me one. You might know one. Give me one of the cash crops. Talk to me. Cash crop. Somebody give me the cash crop that was in Haiti. So who got it? And make sure y'all share this as well. Share this video. All right, so nobody got the cash crop? Cotton. Nah, not rice, not cotton. All right. So I guess it's so one of the biggest cash crops. All right. Because I want to keep it lingering. I told you I'll keep it short. It was sugarcane. All right. Sugarcane was one of the main cash crops in Haiti during this time period. All right. All right. So we done with this part. Now let's go into how the Haitian Revolution ended up making America great. All right. And I just use that as a play on words to get people interested if y'all didn't know. All right, because it really has nothing to do with, well, it does have something to do with making America great, but it will be towards the end. All right. All right, so how does war win? All right. You got Saint-Domingue. All right, so that's what Haiti was called prior to it being, Haiti. It was called Saint-Domingue because the entire island was Hispaniola. So down the middle you had Saint-Domingue, which was Haiti side, and you had San Domingo, which was on the Dominican Republic side. All right, this was more the Spanish side over there. Saint-Domingue, they had the whites. They teamed up with the British to fight. All right, they wanted to fight against the oppression they were experiencing at this point from the enslaved people that were revolting. All right, so this is where you see Toussaint come in. All right. Because Toussaint, he was one of those people that watched from afar, but he was really deadly at what he did because he used his brain and his brawn to defeat people. Now, when Toussaint came in, he could be described as, he was the leader. He did get a little bit of backlash because he was also a very business-minded person, and he was very, I wouldn't say stuck in his ways, but he was more or less a person that he's going to do things the way he wants to do it because he feels like that's the best decision because that's the way he's been doing it. I'll say that from what I studied on him. So after Toussaint came in, all right, he could be described as the master manipulator to some people. All right, we got sugarcane. Ronnie Roy's good. All right, so Toussaint, he came in. All right, once Toussaint came in, he was described as the master manipulator. Now, let me tell you how raw Toussaint was. All right, this is the part that I give him the most credit for, all right? Now, Toussaint, all this going on, these people coming to the island trying to fight him. He gained help. He gained help from the Spanish, all right? Because remember, them and the Spanish, it's not that they didn't get along, but they just didn't intermingle with one another's affairs. But he gained help from the Spanish to defeat the British. Now you got to remember, Saint-Domingue's whites, they called for the British to come to the island. So Toussaint got help from the Spanish. Remember, they in Saint-Domingue, that's right next to them, that's the Dominican Republic. Help from them to defeat, all right, to defeat the British. All right, now, after that, Toussaint, he did another move. He was really out here playing people. This is what I like about him. He's very strategic. This is why he's so smart. Also, another thing to take note of with Toussaint, on the plantation that he grew up on, the owner, he allowed Toussaint to read at a very young age. That's how he had an advantage on a lot of different things, and he got to watch his business affairs as well. So that's how he's kind of ahead of the curve more than some people. Now, Toussaint, they switched over to the French. So remember, the French is who already colonized them, but they were trying to take things by themselves. So they went back over to the French side. They got the French back on their side. All right, and in return for them going back to the French, they would end slavery. Slavery would be ended. That was the deal. And then with that happening, they got the French back on their side, and the French helped them defeat the Spanish. Master manipulator right there. Coffee, yep, you got that too. That was a good one. I'm just joining. What was the question? Oh, I'm past the question now. All right. He was able. They defeat the Spanish. All right. So this was his plan. All right. I'm gonna go back over. So the Saint-Domingue whites. All right. They called on the British. All right. Then Toussaint, he kind of took over the revolution. Basically, he gained help from the Spanish to defeat the British, and then they went over to the French, got the French and returned it in slavery, and then they defeated the Spanish. Now we're gonna go into the problem with Toussaint, and then we'll be done pretty much. All right. All right. So now that you can imagine, they done burned down basically half of Haiti. They burnt down the economy, which was the sugar cane, the coffee field, indigo as well was another thing that they used. That was like the blue dye that made like blue jeans and stuff like that. They burnt all that down. So Toussaint, him being the business brain, and this is where a lot of people kind of, was kind of in and out on him as a person and as a leader. Toussaint basically reinstituted slavery. He had to reinstitute slavery basically because he realized that their economy couldn't survive without them, going into the fields and going through the crops and whatnot. So he basically almost had to reinstitute slavery because people were like, wow, he's sending us back to the fields to work. It's like, it's kind of feel like slavery. This we were just fighting about. All right. So after this, him basically reinstituting slavery. He already had whites on the island that didn't like the way he was running the island because by this point, Toussaint had basically named himself governor of Haiti. All right. Then the whites, they called on French. And does anybody know who the French leader was at this time? Who was the French leader at this time? Now that Toussaint named himself governor, who was the French leader at this time? Anybody can answer that. A lot of people make a lot of jokes about his height. So people make jokes about his height. So that might give you the tip that you need. Dessalines, he come a little bit later. We're going to get it to Dessalines. A lot of people make jokes about his height. Who was the leader of the French? I'll give you like a second to think about it, all right? I see you, Brian knows. Hey, that man taught me a lot, man. That is one bright brother right there. Napoleon. Whoo, got it. Yes, Napoleon. Now, y'all got to remember, when I'm teaching y'all on here, this is just the tip of the iceberg that I'm going through. There's way more intricacies into this stuff, but I just want to get the home run hitters, all right? So we have Napoleon. So Napoleon, he was basically called on by the white colonizers. They called on the French to come over. Napoleon, he was this great leader, great warrior. He was basically trying to take over the world at this point, from what I read about him. And then he came over there and he made basically Toussaint surrender. And he didn't get like it wasn't an honorable discharge. They actually like put him in handcuffs, stripped him of his stripes, and made him and he surrendered. He willingly surrendered at that, and they still took his stripes from him. All right, so Toussaint, he surrendered. He eventually died. I think it was in France, I believe, in a cold cell. They didn't kill him from history, what I've been reading. They didn't kill him, but he pretty much died of natural causes. But he was, he was neglected while he was there. You could imagine. All right. So after let's get this off the board because we're getting down to the end. So now somebody asked about Jacques Dessalines. Now that Toussaint has been captured, you got Jacques, all right? This is where he comes in even more. I don't want to mess up his last name, so I'm going to leave it at D, all right? I don't want to do no disrespect, all right? So this is where he came in even more. Now, he basically took over the ship with his guys, and Jacques Dessalines, he was a little bit more ruthless than Toussaint, I'll say, because Toussaint, the thing about him, Toussaint had this attitude of, he knew how to fight, he knew how to use a gun, he knew how to use a sword, but he'll rather, do everything before he gets to that point. But if he had to kill somebody, he was going to kill somebody. But Jacques Dessalines, he was like that rebel we had on the team. You let's say your family, you got that one person that's like the CEO of your family, that's like the calm one. They could really do crowd control, but then you got that other person in the back. You'd be like, it'll be that uncle or cousin. You be like, hey, we gotta, you can't come to this family event because things might get a little out of hand. So Jacques was kind of that person in my eyes for what I researched on him. All right, so that's why it's always funny bringing up Jacques Dessalines. Now Jacques, he finished the job. All right, he finished the job. Now one thing to be denoted about Jaquez and him finishing the job recruiting, basically running Napoleon and them out of there, is that they had, I forget which disease it was. I want to say it was yellow fever of some sort. That the soldiers, the French soldiers, they were dying left and right because it was a tropical disease that was there and they weren't immune to. And another thing was they used a tactic called guerrilla warfare. So now anybody who knows the tactic of guerrilla warfare, it's basically like you randomly pulling up on somebody, jumping them, and then getting up out of there, doing as much damage as possible and leaving. And that was one of their big tactics, because you got to think about it. All these soldiers from these different nations, they came to Haiti to fight Haitians. That was the wrong idea from the very beginning, in my opinion, because that's basically like you coming into somebody's house and the lights are off in there. Man, you coming in talking about you finna get them, and they know the house in and out. That was a bad move. They just felt like they were way more advanced, than some African slaves, because that's how they seen it. All right, let me check in with y'all. I said Malcolm, he was like Martin. Yeah, you can make that connection, Martin and Malcolm X. All right, that's good. That's a good little connection right there. Now, he finished the job. Haiti, they basically declared themselves free, because I want to end this in 1804. All right. Now, this is where things get interesting, and we get back to the title, How America Became Great. All right, because I did use a play on words like I said before. All right. So 1804, right? Haiti got his independence. Took his independence. They ain't get it. It took his independence. Because I want to make sure I'm careful with my words. They took their independence. Now, there was this thing called, and I know every last one of y'all know, it was something that happened in 1803. All right? 1803. What do we know that happened in the U.S. in 1803? What happened? French got a little stimulus package. What happened in 1803? Do we know? 1803, what happened? Come on now. I need somebody got to answer that question. 1803, what happened? How did the Haitian Revolution make America great? Become great? Because in 1803, something happened between the French and the U.S. All right, I'm going to give y'all like 5 more seconds on it. All right, so we had, all right, the Louisiana Purchase. The Louisiana Purchase happened in 1803. Now, going back to the title, How America Became Great. Now, if you don't know anything about the Louisiana Purchase, it made the U.S. double in size. It was a big plot of land. I forget the exact size, but it made the U.S. double in size. It was signed in by Jefferson, Thomas Jefferson. He was the president at that time. So that was in 1803. Now, How America Became Great. I put that there so you will see there was no coincidence that the Louisiana Purchase happened in 1803 and Haiti got its independence in 1804. All right, the war was over towards the end of 1803 because Napoleon at this point, he's wrapping his head, they're trying to wrap their head around how did they trick us and beat us, and we're supposed to be the greatest army in the world. All right, so 1803, before they could, claim their independence, he went ahead and they did the Louisiana Purchase. This is something they won't really say in history, but in the history books. But he had the Louisiana Purchase. They made that purchase because they already knew the whole world just watched them basically get defeated by a bunch of African slaves, as they'll call them. All right, and now they know they can't defend that land, that land that's on an entirely different continent, and their army is weak. And then Napoleon, on top of that, he had other wars he had to go fight and fund. That was back in the UK. So he was like, "The hell with the Louisiana Purchase. We just gonna sell it before some army, somebody come over and take the land, and we can't even defend it because we over here, we just got beat by a bunch of slaves. They already know we beat. So we might as well get this money, give them the land, let them have it, and we go back home." All right. All right. The U.S. needed this old help. Yes, that happened as well. All right. It was definitely the Louisiana Purchase. All right. Good job. All right, now getting into the last part. All right, just to make sure y'all got that. All right, 1803, Louisiana Purchase happened. The U.S. doubled in size. 1804, Haiti got its independence. All right, these two, there is no coincidence. All right, one happened because of the other. They made this purchase because Haiti defeated them. All right, and they declared their independence. They did not want to be. They got embarrassed at this point. They didn't want to lose that land to someone that probably had an army that was even more organized and stronger than what they were facing in Haiti. But they won't say that. Now, on this last part, all right, remember, Haiti declared its independence 1804. That's a very important date, 1804, right? Now, Haiti, the messed up part, they're not recognized as independent until 1862 by the rest of the world. All right? Because you got to understand, a lot of people were pissed off. This is the first black republic, all right, that you had in the world, and the first very successful slave rebellion that happened. So a lot of people were pissed off. And to add on to that, they exiled Haiti. So basically, no one wanted anything to do with Haiti, and their economy was basically starting to deplete because they had really nobody to export to, anybody was going to buy goods, because it would look bad if they were there and they just had, did what they did to all those other countries as well. All right. Now, with them being exiled, and this is the part that it kind of touches my heart with Haiti, and why I always applaud them with the Haitian Revolution, is that, in Haiti today as it is, they're still feeling the effects of something they did in 1803 and 1804 because of how the world exiled them. They fought for their freedom and then got punished for fighting for their freedom and becoming independent. That is the crazy thing. So, after Haiti got its independence, guess what happened? If anybody take a wild guess why Haiti is in the condition, part of why it's in the condition that it is today, what did they have to do? Somebody might answer this question. What payment arrangement? You got to be a little clearer, Olivia, on that part. All right, so once they were exiled, Haiti was exiled by the rest of the world, basically. And remember, they weren't recognized as a country until 1862. They had to pay reparations to the French. Reparations. Haiti paid reparations to the French. I forget which year it stopped, but it wasn't too far ago, maybe in the 60s or something like that. I can't remember exactly. All right, they paid reparations to the French, and it will be equivalent to $21 billion in today's money. $21 billion. So now you got Haiti. They got their independence. They trying to rebuild their economy, and they hit with a $21 billion bill. And plus, they have been exiled by the rest of the world, so they can't really make any money. So they basically reinstituted slavery in some form, by putting them on a ball of chain with a debt to pay because they fought for their freedom. And they were literally paying for what they did. They paid for the plantations that were lost and things of that nature, the land that was burnt up, everything. That's what they were paying reparations for. And that is how Haiti, is in the condition that it is today. That's the last part that I wanted to get to. But how it became great, Louisiana Purchase, make sure you remember that. It doubled in size, the U.S. doubled in size because of the Haitian Revolution. There was no coincidence there. Don't let anybody tell you different, because it ain't no way you selling a big plot of land in 1803 while you're in the middle of a war, and you got a war to focus on. So I'll be looking at the questions now. Yep, they had to pay the French $21 billion, because you got to remember, they were colonized by the French as well. Y'all got to remember that. But French never did anything for Haiti. They didn't. They really did. They just colonized Haiti. The French, they colonized Haiti. So that was the biggest problem. They were the owners of Haiti, but you got to remember Haiti was Saint-Domingue at first. All right. So even if we going further back before it was Saint-Domingue, it was called Haiti. So during that time period, you had the Taino people. I didn't even get into that. That's before Haiti. You had the Taino people. These were the people that were slaughtered by Columbus, and their population was basically down to a few hundred people. And their population is still almost non-existent today. I'm 27 now. I only met one Taino person, and it was one of my students at Santa Lucia. In my entire life, I met one Taino person. So that tells you, how far gone, they were almost wiped off the face of the earth. They say literally 1947, thank you for that. 1947, they finished paying reparations to the French. I knew it was something in the 1940s or the 60s. It was something that was very recent. Yeah, it made them pay that debt. So yeah, this is what it is. This is the lesson today of how America became great. And I wanted to get to the Louisiana Purchase and, how Haiti basically propelled, Napoleon and the French to, sell the Louisiana Purchase to the U.S. and the U.S. doubled in size due to the Haitian Revolution, because Napoleon knew. He absolutely knew. He was a smart man. He was a warrior, but he was a smart man. He already knew he didn't want to lose that land by going to war, and because his army was already ravaged, by coming to Haiti and trying to, make his presence be felt and reinstitute slavery. And Jacques Dessalines and everybody else was not having it, all right, because they already had came so far. Even though they had, lost Toussaint, they knew they already came too far to go back. It wasn't no going back into slavery, and they wanted to be independent, and that's just what they did. That's why I always commend Haiti. I love my Zoes. Like, y'all my people. Anybody that know me, I always talk about them. And they were like, everybody think I'm Haitian, but I'm not. I just know the history. So it always touches my heart that we have history like this, where there was actual fights and there was, there was win. They won. This is something that was very unheard of, and it sparked many other rebellions throughout the U.S. and other nations. This is why things in the history books, they aren't explained like this, because there was somebody who had this special interest writing these events, and they didn't want others to know, about these wins, because they knew it would spark other rebellions, as it did. The entire world literally was watching Haiti tear each of these big, smart, supposed to be best armies in the world down, one by one, chopping them down, manipulating them, and having their way with them. All right? So if y'all got any questions, I'll take them now. Much respect. All right. I don't know how they came up with that number for the reparations, but it was $21 billion. Back then it was like 150 francs, so that's the currency for the French. But it came out to $21 billion. That number, it derives from the plantations that were burnt down, the people that were killed, and things of that nature. You got to remember as well, and I didn't mention this, so that's my fault. Good question, Olivia. So with Haiti, during that time period, it was the richest colony in the world. If it wasn't the richest, it was definitely top 3. One of the richest colonies in the world due to the sugarcane and other natural resources that they could grow there. You got to remember, Haiti is a very tropical climate, so almost anything could grow there, and that made them a commodity. All right, and you got to remember, they're right in between. They're in the middle of the pond almost, where the pond is the Atlantic Ocean. So they were like right there. They could come from Africa. Some, not everybody from Africa, it's slave. Well, that's a whole separate story. But some of them come from Africa, right? They meet there right in the middle. Then they can ship them off to the U.S. or South America, where most of them went. All right? So they were like right there. It was like the perfect location, and they had the perfect, it was like the perfect storm for colonizers, basically. That's why a lot of them set up shop there. Yeah, you said that you guessing the value. The number is from the value assessed of the property damage. Yes, that's pretty much what it is. What I was trying to say in so many words. You got it. Yeah. So yeah, you said you believe they're gonna come back to their roots. I believe so. Haiti, it will eventually maybe be able to come up, out of there. The only thing with Haiti, it's not a problem that I have with them, but the revolutionary spirit of Haitians that are there now is, it's from their ancestors. They cannot help it, so. And then you have these outside government entities that are invading Haiti, but it goes on the hush-hush all the time. All right, that's why, with Trump, he said what he said about them being I don't want to say a cursing word on it, but, the S-word country. He wasn't necessarily calling, Haiti that. He was talking about how basically people treat it, even though he always words wrong. All right. He was saying how people treat it, because a lot of people, they go there, they rape people in Haiti, they take money from these people, say they're doing stuff over there, and they're not really doing anything, and they're just pushing Haiti further into that, depression that they are in financially, all right, and socially. They still can't be profitable. I agree. All right, but if y'all don't have questions, because I feel like I've been on it too long, because I always do this, because I feel like I go into my regular teacher mode. Give me any questions you got. I'm here. I'm here to talk to y'all for about another 5 minutes, so I'll answer any of y'all questions. All right, thank you. Appreciate what you're doing. Let's move to Haiti. I'm with you. I was supposed to go to Haiti this summer. I was supposed to go to Africa. I was going to Mozambique in Africa, and then I was supposed to go to Haiti, but Rona ruined everything. So, what are some ways you see Haiti moving forward? What's the word of the day? I haven't put my words of the day up yet. I usually think of them as soon as I get off it. So somebody asked, how do you see Haiti moving forward? As far as Haiti moving forward, I think it's going to take a lot of work, really, because it's going to be really hard to change a system that's been in place for so long. And I think a lot of people, they're not understanding that Haiti, the heart of Haiti is revolution. So I think they would literally almost have to overthrow the government, which they have, I believe, in some respects. And then they have to get a leader in there that the people can absolutely get behind, all right, and that could implement not some strict guidelines, but guidelines and really show people that they care about them, and not just have, people, just out there, so poverty stricken. They got to put some more programs in place that can help them, get to, not financial freedom probably necessarily, but just a better way of life, because it's still, Haiti is going to be Haiti at the end of the day, and people, bartering, trading things off for one another, because that's what they do, all right? And I think they need a bigger market, because all these people, they go there and they just take advantage of Haiti. Once people stop going to Haiti and taking advantage of Haiti, I think that will be when we see them move forward, because they'll have some people from Haiti that's for Haiti, not people that's outside of Haiti trying to say they're for Haiti. All right, because it's just a whole, I don't know, it's a whole scam going on there, in my opinion, with the things that people coming in from people doing orphanages and selling these kids and things of that nature. So it's a whole reform that got to go on in Haiti, and I think it has to come from somebody who's there, truly understands, and that comes from the grassroots of Haiti and have the people behind them. All right. All right, I think that if us Haitian Americans went back to Haiti and build homes, what do you learn about this? Didn't learn this from our education system until I was in college. I'm so pissed I actually had to renew my passport. All right, I learned about this on my own because once I started teaching African American history, once you start learning a little bit about African American history, I swear to you, it's gonna start steamrolling. Because I really didn't learn this until I started teaching 3 years ago. So I was like, let me get a little deeper. Let me go a little deeper. You got so many questions because the information is just not there. You really have to get in your books and do extensive research to find out this stuff, because it's hidden because they wanted it hidden. That's what y'all got to really understand. They wanted this hidden because, like I said, it was not in the people's best interest back in the 1800s and even the early 1900s to explain the story of and I'm using this as some African slaves. We talking about slaves here, all right, that beat 3 of the world's best army on one. They did it on their island on their terms. that is not in the colonizer's best interest to tell that story, because they already know what it's going to do to the mental mindset. You get out of a slave mindset when you know your people have done something like that. It's hard for you to go back knowing that you had ancestors and people that nature that, like, what? They did. Why can't we do it? It's still more of us than them at the end of the day. That's how they seen it as well back then. All right, there we send money to Tom, but it just goes to waste without a plan. Yeah, I agree. A plan definitely has to be put in place for, you know, things to happen for Haiti. Like, it's gonna be a major reform, but I hope in my lifetime that I do see Haiti come back to its greatness, because it's still very profitable. It's still the land that it is. But I will say another thing with Haiti that now that I'm thinking about it is that it'll be hard for them to come back from the resources, because I saw my cousin said something about, God wanted to say something about that. The thing with Haiti, and I'll probably share a video later on it. Haiti, if you look at, if they had a map, if I had a map of modern day Haiti and the whole entire island, which was Hispaniola back then, if you look on the Dominican Republic side, it has luscious green grass. But you can tell the difference between Haiti and Dominican Republic is because on Haiti's side, it's been farmed so much. And this is coming all the way back from these colonial times. It's been farmed so much, all you see is like basically desert on their side in some respects, because of all that farming and things that went on back then. So they don't have that same land, but they have stuff to work with, but it's just not the same. Allegedly the best armies. I agree. Deforestation has devastated the land. Yes, Simline. Yes. All right, he said allegedly the best armies. Yeah, they were allegedly the best armies during that time. But yeah, it's if y'all have any more questions about to end this thing, let me know. I'll be on. I keep saying 5 minutes. It's just like I'll be in class and the kids keep asking questions. All right, so for real, like 2 minutes. We still do. Yep. All right. Well, I'll leave it at that. I know I said 2 minutes, but I've been on here for probably about 35, 40 minutes, so I'm going to piece it out. Remember how America became great? I'll just do a quick review because I know some people just jumped in. Haitian Revolution. That was one big part of it, because once Haiti got its independence in 1804, in 1803, the French sold the Louisiana Purchase to the U.S. The U.S. doubled its size due to that. And the only reason Napoleon from the French army, the leader of the French army, sold it is because he already knew his army was so beat down and weak, they wouldn't be able to protect that land in the U.S. So he sold it so he could go fight his other wars across back in the U.K. All right. Yeah, definitely women that helped gain independence as well. They definitely go underlooked. So that's another point, Sim, about the women of history. Women across history, period, they always get overlooked because back then it was very patriarchal, all right, back then. So a lot of women get overlooked in history. So that's definitely a great point, because the one example I'll give you that holds this true, that anybody want to argue about this, when you go into any, maybe not right now because things are shifting, but if you go into any history class you've ever been in, what is the one thing you always seen on the wall? It was not no woman on the wall as a historical figure, nothing, like barely seen woman on the wall. It was a man, it was really truly like a man's world during that time. So that's something to be cognizant of as well. And that's why we're learning, you know, more now about the history of women, you know, as times are starting to change. Gotta keep giving the knowledge, bro. Perfecting your craft. Definitely trying to perfect the craft. We took care of Dominicans for 25 years. Yep, getting us through the journey of the African diaspora. This is good. All right, I appreciate y'all. And one thing I learned as well, I'll leave y'all with this before I get off here. So it's a guy I follow on Instagram, very famous, popular, very smart, like, I mean, brilliant mind. All right, one thing he said, a lot of people ask us, are you black? Are you Dominican? Are you Haitian? Are you this? And he was more speaking to the people that were born in America that's black. he would say, no, I'm not black, no, I'm not a Negro, no, I'm not your N-word, no, I'm not none of that. He's like, I am an American of the African diaspora. That's his new definition for it. I'm an American of the African diaspora. All right? So yes, we are American, but of the African diaspora because we don't know where we really came from. It will take time. It will take you very extensive time to find that out. All right? All right, but I'll talk to y'all later. It was good coming with y'all again. We'll be back next Sunday, probably 7:30. I'll let y'all know because, you know, I got different stuff that's going on. I literally just got off a flight, landed here, and I was like, I got to go hurry up and teach this because, you know, got to let the streets know what's up, man. So y'all just keep coming in. Make sure y'all share it. I got the Cashapp there. I got the website. If you want to go buy your shirt, we got the We Will Breathe shirt. And then we got the BLK Agenda shirt as well. Shirt $25, and then you get 2 for $40 once you use the discount code BLK40. And I got the Cashapp there as well if you want to donate, so I can keep doing stuff like this and contributing to the KSJ scholarship fund as well. That $1,000 check I was holding, that was also due to y'all buying these t-shirts. So it ain't all about me and you know, getting paid. All right. So hey, I appreciate everybody that came. Peace and love, family. Y'all be great.